I want to make a video about what it's like to be possessed. Okay, so the first day that it really hit me that this was happening, that I was in Philadelphia. I was living with my ex, and so I had this friend a few months before that I had a falling out with. Some drama happened, and I said something that ended up getting, like, he ended up disappearing after all this happened, and no one ever confronted me about it, but all these weird signs started to happen. Like, this is when, like, I kind of went nuts, but I didn't realize what was happening. But, so I was just trying to escape from it, because it was, like, I didn't want to accept, like, or confront it. But he disappeared, and then, like, all this weird stuff started happening. I thought I saw a movie with a guy that looked just like him, that looked like he was being killed. Like, this story formed from all these clues, like little things that people would say. I thought that they were saying that because of what I said, that he had been killed, but nobody was going to tell me that there was people after me, but everybody was just, like, trying to warn me without actually telling me what happened, because I had said something about him, and then he disappeared after that, and, like, yeah, everybody was acting weird, and I thought that he got killed, but it was all made up. But yeah, I thought, like, his family, I thought he was killed by a gang or something, and that his family was, and all his friends, even my own family, were in on it. And the CIA was after me, all this crazy stuff, like, weird messages would pop up on my phone at random times, like, all clues that led back to his disappearance. So as I went insane, I ended up getting back together with my ex who lives, because at the time I was in Nashville. It was after my 2-year on and off relationship. All of this happened during one of our breaks, and I came down here to Tennessee, and that's when all this drama happened. So after I lost it and all this shit happened, I called my ex up in Philadelphia and asked him if I could move back in with him. And I came up there, and just to get away from all of this, and because I didn't want to confront it, and I thought for sure there was people after me. So the possession. So I went up to after I went to Philly, like, I was still heavy into drugs, and I started smoking crack all the time. And one day I just started hearing voices when I was with him, my ex, up in Philadelphia, and I heard my friend's voice who disappeared saying, "You fucking bitch, you're gonna go to hell, you're gonna burn in hell." And then I remember, like, that same night, like, that I started hearing his voice and all this stuff. So I immediately I jumped to the conclusion, oh my God, this whole time my ex knows that he was paid to have me come up here, so they could catch me off guard. They could murder me somewhere far away where nobody would find out who killed me. And it was just, yeah. So I was like, immediately I was like, oh my God. I was stressing because this whole time I have forgotten about all of that for a couple months. I assumed that my ex didn't know about all the drama that happened down here. And then when I started hearing the voices, I was like, oh my God, he knows. He's just been paid this whole time. So that same night, weird stuff started happening in the shower. Like, I started seeing shadows. Like, and this would continue for a long time. Every time I take a shower, I would see shadows behind the curtain. And, like, and every time I would take a step or move, like, I could just feel this presence right behind me. And I would freak out and I would rush. Like, everything was like that when I was alone. And, but, at the same time, I was just entertained. Like, for some reason, once I had gotten up there, it started to take over so strong to the point where I was just like, there was no questioning anything. It was just like being part of a movie. It was like being in a seat, like being in a movie, but you don't know you're in the movie. I don't know. It was weird. And then things started to get silly and stuff, and they turned lighter, and then I realized all of that was a joke. Like, none of that. It was just part of the control of the possession to split, like, all the different things that happened. Like, sometimes shit was silly and funny, and sometimes it was creepy like that, and it was like split my personality into different places. So the possession was so strong that it just completely took over my life and became like a 2-year-long trip, intense trip that I had no control over anything I did. If I had the urge to do so, I would just do it, go with it, everything. And that's how I realized. But that day was the day that I realized the possession. And then I remembered once that after, like, I got through all that and realized, like, it wasn't a setup. I was fine. That it was all to show me that in my past, this has been happening my whole life, these possessions, but they just, nothing insane, but it had to get like that for me to see that a lot of the things I did throughout my whole past were possession, and I didn't realize it, and to be more aware, be more careful about everything I do, because how easily it is to be taken over, and that's what had happened, because I didn't realize I was being possessed, and I had to go through that with my friend disappearing for me to realize that. So, and then one morning I just woke up, and this is when after that scary shit, like, things went silly. I just woke up and started saying stuff, like, started coming out of my mouth that I had no control over, just random weird shit. Like, I just started saying hoe ass, a hoe ass bitch, like, every day, all day. That went on for a long time, and I had no control, and it was just like, I don't know. I thought it was funny at the time, but then, and I became, like, really, like, I really liked the feeling of just, like, going with whatever, no matter what. Like,